feeling sexy, aren't you, Michael?
Hi everyone and welcome to Dates, Weights and Protein Shakes. I'm Lianne and I'm a weightlifter.
I'm James and I'm a powerlifter.
And this is the podcast where we talk shit about lifting, relationships, life and everything in between.
Hello listeners and welcome back to another episode of Dates, Weights and Protein Shakes. And it's an extremely exciting episode today. More so than usual, because we are going to be doing our review of our Grace workout, and we are joined by our friend Tom from work.
Yay! Tom from work!
And Tom from work isn't just here because he had nothing better to do. That may be one of the reasons.
Yeah.
But Tom also joined us for the Grace workout, so he's going to be taking part in our review today.
Welcome, Tom from work.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I feel very, very special right now.
You should feel special because
I feel like after 2.5 years of begging/bullying my way onto the podcast, it's nice to finally be here.
That's before we even had a podcast.
I know. I was so ready for it. I was so ready for you to start on, but I was already trying to weasel my way onto it.
Yeah, I do feel like Tom is slowly becoming part of the relationship, I would maybe say.
Is there something I need to know about?
I was going to say, I don't remember begging for that bit. I don't remember how drunk was I at the wedding?
No.
Just cut to a lovely picture of you and me.
I mean, you two, they did go to a wedding together. I couldn't go because I was at my Scotland weightlifting camp, unfortunately. So Tom was the plus one of James.
Tom was my date.
Yeah. And the photos, the evidence that came from that wedding were pretty concerning.
That I wasn't allowed to wear your dress. I was told under certain circumstances that I wasn't allowed to.
It was because you would show up the bride was the main concern.
Yeah, we can have that.
Let's show those pictures here now. Wow. So wide.
So gorgeous.
So much width.
Those pictures are better than any pictures we have together, James. So I feel like it's quite concerning.
I've got a new profile picture.
Yeah. That's
but
so fair.
I feel like we've maybe fast forwarded a little bit into my relationship with Tom. I think maybe Tom from work, you should explain how we know each other.
From what?
Oh,
the clue's there. I mean, it's weird that it's my surname as well. Right? That's how we know each other.
Yeah.
So yes, for those who don't know, James and I used to work together.
Yeah.
And we formed a firm friendship when we realised that we both like lifting and being terrible at golf.
Yeah.
And that has developed into a blossoming romance. I mean, friendship that is still going today.
Yeah. And even though Tom is Tom from work, he no longer works with either of us. But for the purposes of the podcast, that is how he will be known.
Yeah.
So Tom, that's how we know each other. The next question is, why did you join us for Grace?
That is a question I've been asking myself
for
repeatedly,
a week.
pretty much since and when my alarm went off that morning, it must be said. Partly because it was finally the invite I'd been waiting for so long.
For 2.5 years.
Well, come on, right. It wasn't an invite. It was you volunteered to participate in the workout.
I don't recall it going down like that.
You literally transferred James £50. And we felt, let's do some charity work. Let's let you on. Have a little play around, see what you can do, because you have never been to the gym before. So this
I feel like I had to do my thing for to show that CrossFit is really just easy. I've never been to the gym, and I can rock up and do CrossFit.
Yeah.
Whereas those other weird ones that you do, what are they called again? Powerlifting, is it?
Yeah.
Like that's hard apparently. I don't know why, but apparently that's hard.
I think of the 97% of votes we received for do a CrossFit workout, I think 20% of them might have been Tom. Because he's like, this is my in. This is how I get on.
I have too many Instagram accounts. All of them are linked here.
Yes, I think this is my next question. Tom, what is your relationship status currently?
I am currently enjoying a relationship with myself and my hobbies.
You're single.
Yeah.
So, for the viewers, if you like what you see now, and if you like what you see later, even better, all of Tom's 2 Instagram accounts will be linked here. And, if you've got if you're in the UK and you have any Tinder radius, Tom's is large enough that at some point he will appear.
If you've already experienced Tom in some way, please call into the show. Let us know your experience. Are you okay?
Let me know what you'd like me to work on in my future endeavours.
Is he not adventurous enough? Does he maybe send too many texts? Let him know, and it will be fed back.
That one felt quite targeted.
So, Tom, we know that you've wanted to be on the podcast for a while, hence why you came on for the Grace workout. Despite what Lianne said, I feel like you've been to the gym. You've been to the gym at least twice because we've gone together twice.
That's true. I'd forgotten about this. So yeah, it's probably is twice. Yeah.
What sort of training, sport, and exercise do you do day to day?
So I would say my main sport is rugby and has been pretty much my whole life. So a lot of the training I do is kind of, certainly during the season, it's just kind of about being in the right shape for Saturday. So some weeks that just involves recovery and a bit of light lifting. In the off season, that tends to be things like there'll be a strength building phase, there'll be a speed building phase. There's a lot of the dreaded S&C, the older cardio, as it were.
That's a place in Spain, isn't it?
Very good. And yeah, I'd say the other part of it for me is just like, I really enjoy exercising. It's quite good fun. I don't necessarily have to kind of have targets and have places I'm trying to get to. I just quite enjoy going to the gym and doing a workout. And some weeks they will literally just be a mix and match of what I fancy doing. That does mean that in kind of a lot of the classic kind of progress measuring terms, I've not really gone anywhere. But then I am always working on technique and things when helpful people point out what I'm doing wrong, which I always appreciate. And yeah, I just kind of play around with it, try and keep it interesting, but try and keep it fairly consistent so I'm actually making progress. And then work on whatever knock I've picked up from rugby at the weekend and stuff like that. And then also try and play tennis when it's sunny, basically.
And you do some Olympic lifting as well, don't you?
Yeah, so I got into, let's use the phrase Olympic lifting quite generously here. I got into some form of clean and jerk around the end of university. At uni, I trained a lot with powerlifters, so most of what I did was more look like powerlifting training alongside kind of training for rugby. And then kind of saw people cleaning and jerking and thought, oh, that looks fun.
Yeah.
It took a while for me to kind of, I look back at videos from a few years ago now when I thought I was doing really well and think, oh my god.
I think that's true for everyone.
Yeah, everyone has that.
And like, I think a lot of it just comes from knowing, and like when you start out, we're all the same when we go to the gym, we start out, we don't really know what we're doing. So I've had a lot of people kind of give me some really helpful advice, yourself included. With respect, I haven't taken much Olympic lifting advice from you.
That's so fair.
That's so fair.
Like, if anyone wants to like just go forward a little bit in the video, you can see why.
Yeah, really upset. A nice healthy dose of foreshadowing for the listeners. And yeah, I'm nearly big reveal. Nearly at the point where I think I could snatch. Nearly.
So this is a conversation we've already had with Tom. Some of our kind of pillow talk conversation that we have around.
I come up a lot in that. in my head, I like to think I'm the sole topic of conversation.
It's hard to ignore you when you're kind of curled up at the foot of the bed.
Mom, Dad, Paddy's in my spot again. We can move.
Shush up.
But we have discussed it because you, as a lifter, have a very good clean and jerk, especially for your body weight as well. And so if we could get you snatching to a decent number, you'd be very competitive.
I could actually brave the competition.
Yeah. So potentially video series coming up where I teach Tom how to snatch. when I finally draw the line on the rugby career, which who knows, might be a few years, might be next week. Stay tuned. It's definitely something I want to do. I've got quite a lot of things I want to do sport-wise when I do finally kind of stop playing rugby. It's not something I want to do forever, and that is pretty much at the top of the list, I think. Very exciting.
Yeah. So I think that gives a bit of background on why we got Tom to join us for Grace. it's Tom actually does cardio and
conditioning.
Probably fits a definition of a fit person. So someone who can both do weightlifting and also run a little bit. So it's quite good to have a barometer for our
lack of
complete lack of cardio.
Yeah.
We just don't do it.
Two people who are strong but not fit, which I think is maybe not quite the right balance they look for in CrossFit.
No.
I think you're fit, mate.
Guys, save it for later. Come on.
See this picture again for reference. We were also joined by Polish Jake, who very sadly, for reasons that will quickly become apparent, could not join us today. And, he is in our hearts still.
May his soul rest in peace.
Shall we all just have a moment of silence?
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Good.
Okay, good.
And we had Jake, who also does weightlifting and wanted to be involved in the workout. He came along as well. So we have a couple of reference points for mine and Lianne's fitness, basically. So let's get right into it.
Yeah, let's go.
Here we are on the way to Barbell Division in Southampton, aka Barbie D, off to go and do Grace. We're going to be met by Polish Jake and Tom from work. So we're going to have a little 2 sets of 2 going on. Leanne, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good actually. I've been thinking about my tactics a lot.
Yeah.
So I think I know my strategy and I'm going to go into it. How are you feeling?
My overriding sentiment is inconvenienced.
You've just done a workout.
Yeah, this whole thing is just like putting me out of my way.
Yeah.
I had to get up an hour earlier than I wanted to.
Yeah.
I've already been to the gym because I'm not going to lose a training day to doing CrossFit nonsense. I've actually not finished my workout. While you guys are warming up for Grace, I'm going to be finishing off my workout.
Yeah.
I just want the viewers and listeners to appreciate how much we've gone out of our way for this.
It's just a fun day.
We've also inconvenienced Tom from work and Polish Jake to come and do it with us.
We didn't make them.
They did volunteer.
To come with us.
They did volunteer. So it's the morning of the workout, and I have decided to go to the gym. Not the gym we're doing Grace at, my other gym, because I refused to lose a day's workout to doing Grace.
So right though, to make sure he didn't inconvenience the rest of us, he drove himself to the gym and drove himself to Grace. Oh no! Wait. Oh no, you didn't.
Lianne dropped me off at the gym, and I did 85% squats, and I was halfway through doing 90% bench when Lianne messaged me saying, "We're going to be late to the gym. It closes at 2. We need to go now."
I would just like to say, 50% of my life revolves around driving James to and from places.
That's so not true.
And then James being late the entire time. So I'm just stressed most of the time.
So Lianne comes and picks me up. Yeah. The other part of this podcast is about relationships. It's also about the gym and protein shakes, but sometimes it's about relationships. And guys, sometimes it's just not worth engaging. Sometimes
that's my tactic. That's why I just don't go on dates.
Yeah,
sometimes you just shouldn't respond to the text.
Sometimes just ignore your partner when they're getting annoyed at you.
Sometimes your partner wants a fight. Well, they think they want a fight, but they actually don't need the fight. So it's better just not engaging. So Lianne picks me up, and we drive to Barbie D, aka Barbell Division, who very kindly let us use their platforms for Grace. And I've still got 3 bench sets left. So I was feeling a little bit inconvenienced by the whole thing. So we got to Barbell Division. We met Jake, who, God rest his soul, Tom, and we were ready for the workout. So while these guys were warming up, I went and did the rest of my bench workout, quite frankly.
Yeah. Just fucked off, really.
I was still in the vicinity.
Yeah. You did miss a very dramatic moment, which we will talk about soon.
Is it the moment where I got to full depth without raising my hip?
I did see that, mate.
The good thing is, Tom
happened! Oh my god!
Tom is maybe the only person I know with worse mobility than me. So because I'd already done my mobility in my warm-ups, so I was ready to dive straight into the workout. We still had to wait half an hour for Tom to loosen off his hips.
I'd like to add some context to this. This is Sunday morning. Firstly, I don't do things on Sunday morning. That's just not a time my body operates. Secondly, I played 80 minutes of rugby the day before and drunk more alcohol than I should have done. My body was ladies.
I can't believe we skipped over this. Yeah, Tom, what was your preparation. So we've heard my preparation was doing another workout, which is probably suboptimal. Yeah. What was your preparation for Grace like?
My preparation was to play 80 minutes of pretty physical rugby on Saturday. My bicep a week later is still yellow from the knee it received on that day. It was in World Cup quarterfinals.
I thought you just meant you were in the World Cup quarterfinals. I didn't realise you.
Oh, Tom, you're better than rugby.
Tom, that's quite good actually.
So no, so we watched the Wales game at the club with lots of alcohol. I was nominated for Dick of the Day due to an incident involving an interception pass.
I'm worried that people who don't know rugby don't know what that means. And I just want to explain what I think people might have thought it was, which is that you maybe all stood in the showers and got your appendage out.
Ladies!
And went, I think, Tom, yours is looking pretty good today.
Yes, that's my favourite.
So that to be clear, that's not what Dick of the Day is.
What it is. No. So it's basically like the opposite of man of the match, where you've done something either stupid, you might have maybe forgotten your kit, or got lost in a service station, or thrown an interception pass to the opposition's 13, who was offside, by the way, I'd like to add.
I'm sure most people won't know what that means.
Tom, to kind of just translate that again, Tom is saying that the reason he got Dick of the Day was not valid and unfair.
No. The reason I got Dick of the Day was because I provided a beautiful assist for the opposition to score a try, which was fair. So then there was some sending of Guinness pints involved in that as a punishment, which I thought I did a respectable job of for a man of small stature.
Ladies!
Short King over here.
Short King season is in. It was suboptimal preparation, but equally, I came in feeling good. Got through the game with no major knocks. So
yeah.
Good.
So yeah.
So we're all doing the warm up, and I wasn't there for the decision, but it was decided that Jake would go first.
I think Tom and I were kind of a little bit nervous, and Jake, being an adult and a father, kind of said, "I'll take one for the team."
I don't like to do anything first, ladies. So I felt like
Shit, I feel like Tom is saying "ladies" so much. We should just permanently have his Instagram and LinkedIn just here. So Jake, being the actual adult, decided to go first.
He said he'd go first.
What's your name?
Jacob.
What's your squat depth?
100%.
What's your strategy for Grace?
Don't die.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
What's your max clean?
112. But that was when I was big. I'm not big anymore. I don't know what it is now.
What's your max jerk?
112. But same as before. I'm not big anymore.
Best of luck for the workout, Jake.
Thank you.
Had there been any discussion about good times for Grace at this point?
No, in terms of what the target was, we didn't have that discussion. All I said to Jake was that you have to complete 30 clean and jerks in as little time as possible. Now, as a sensible person, you might think, oh, well, you just have to do it so you get through it in as little time as possible, which means you can take breaks, you don't have to do them all at once. And I don't think, maybe it was the Polish-English translation that didn't quite get there, but Jake did not understand that breaks were an option.
Would it be useful at this point to discuss, on CrossFit websites what they say good time for Grace are?
He approached it and performed much like my academic performance, which is that he was flying until about 15, 16.
Yeah.
And then things went downhill very quickly between 16 and 20.
Yeah. That's very accurate.
Yeah. Well, so just for some context at this point, per wadstar.com, and I'd be interested to know if people think these are like realistic or not. Level 1, aka beginner, for 30 clean and jerks is 5.5 minutes to 8 minutes. Level 2, so what would you call that? Novice, medium?
Yeah.
3 minutes to 5.5. Level 3 advanced 2 to 3 minutes, and then elite is sub 2.
Just fucking
which is doing a clean and jerk every 4 seconds.
And this is for men 60 kilograms and women 45 kilograms.
Yeah.
So it's not like lightweight that you're doing.
And I think it's worth saying at this point, you very gallantly did the 60 kilo bar.
I did. I felt like I said I was going to do it.
Yeah.
I had to at least try it. And then the plan was if it got too difficult, I'd take some weight off. But I did all 30. Yeah.
So we foreshadowed it a little bit. So Jake's warmed up. He's got his knee sleeves on. He steps up to the bar. Does someone want to take the baton and say what happened next?
He did fucking 20 in a row. I mean, just outright 20 clean and jerks, like non-stop. And I think we did try to say to him.
We did try to encourage him to take a breather.
Like, just have a sit down.
Done 15, maybe get some oxygen.
I think it got bad at 15.
It started to go downhill very quickly.
Yeah.
There was one off to full depth at one point. Like,
yes.
It was so unnecessary.
Yeah, when you're going to full depth on a 60 clean and jerk, when your max is 112, it's it's pretty bad.
Equally, it's easy in retrospect. I feel like at the time we just thought he needed a break when he got to 20 and was like, I'm going to have a rest now. It was when we were kind of bullying him about that, and we thought he just wasn't engaging. And then I think we gradually realised that he didn't know who we were or where he was, and was in serious danger of losing like limbs to the exhaustion.
You'll see them in the video, but there were parts where he was clutching his heart. He had his hand over
I just
his
thought
mouth.
he was feeling particularly passionate about it.
Patriotic at that moment.
Just like, this is reminding me of why I come to the gym.
I've never seen a man so like bereft.
Yeah.
After an athletic performance.
Well, the thing is, so James was away doing his own workout at this point. It was just me and Tom supervising, which shouldn't really happen ever. So
wait, can we just clarify this? Are you saying that I am out of this trio the one who's most mature and should be supervising?
I feel like you are father.
Nice.
Daddy.
No. Absolutely not.
Don't do that.
Well, really, in this situation, Jake is the adult, but Jake is having a fucking heart attack.
It's like when you go on a school trip and the teacher starts being stupid, like you don't know what to do. Like it's just you feel like you've aged beyond your years in 30 seconds.
Yeah. So basically, Jake did. How long was he? Like, if he was doing no rest,
he went straight through. I reckon he was probably about 2 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say below 3 minutes he got 20.
Maybe 2.5, maybe.
Yeah. Which is incredible.
Yeah.
Flying through.
If he'd just taken like a rest at 10 and 20, they probably could have got through it. So yeah, basically Jake DNF'd. He didn't take a single rest, got to 20. According to his heart rate monitor, his heart rate was about 90.
But
the
one at the front was broken.
I came down after having finished my workout and I was like, oh Jake, how did you go? He's like, I did not finish. Jake, how many reps do you do?
20.
Why did you not do any more?
Because I thought I would pass out.
So fair.
My heart rate was apparently 90, which is incorrect.
Good hustle all the same, Jake. Good effort. Thanks for joining. At this point, I then got concerned. I was like, is this harder than I think it is? Am I not going to be able to finish? And for a little while, my only goal was just getting through the workout.
Yeah. Jake really was a sacrifice because I think we saw what happened.
Yeah, just
there.
Categorically what not to do.
And my approach was always going to be, do 3 or 4 and then have a break because I've done 20 snatches and 20 clean jerks before anyway, and I very quickly realised that you don't just go all the way through. So I kind of had that tactic already.
Are we sure it's not just that he's the only one of us that could count higher than 5?
Well, yeah, my approach was this is 6 sets of 5 with a nice little sit in between each 5.
Yeah.
So I wasn't going to do that anyway. Like, at no point had it crossed my mind to not have a rest. As a true powerlifter, I was like, I'm going to do some sitting.
Oh yeah. You need a little fold-out chair.
Some squashies or some Haribo in between.
Yeah,
you actually marked out your 6 as well. You weren't
going
going 6, 7, 8. You were going right 1 again, 2 again.
Yeah, I took a bit of chalk out so I could mark out. Yeah. So at this point, because Tom's hips still aren't loose, Lianne, you decide to go next.
I did. This is just your public dating profile at this point.
You're not getting invited back on.
So fair.
You have to go next.
Yeah.
Name, cuz?
Big L, Lianne Brown.
What's your strategy for today?
Breathe, I reckon that's going to get it. And pace myself and use as little energy as possible. Efficiency.
Very nice.
Yeah.
What's your max clean?
Max clean's 103,
Max jerk?
105.
Very nice. What's your relationship status?
Betrothed to be married, of course. Sorry, everyone.
And what's your pre-workout for today?
A nice sleep and a little pumpkin spiced coffee. Great.
I wanted to get it over and done with, and I think seeing Jake and what he went through, I just didn't want to wait any longer. So I warmed up as I normally would, and yeah.
You've gone belt on, sleeves on.
So I thought, give myself as much help as possible, which in hindsight was the worst decision I could have made.
See, I didn't think about the belt because I was like, that's going to constrict my belly.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
make it harder to get oxygen in.
Well, that's the thing. I kept having to undo it and then redo it. So didn't need the belt, didn't need the knee sleeves. And yeah, I think I went in sets of 3, which is, I didn't want to get to the point where I was feeling like I was going to vomit or like there was going to be blood coming kind of out of my throat. So sets of 3 was the approach.
Such a way with words.
It was beautiful poetic image. That.
Thank you very much. And yeah, I think I don't really remember it all that well. I mean, I don't do cardio, so this was kind of let's see what happens. Started off with 60.
Similarly, you don't do depth on clean and jerks either. So the fact that
it's just standard. It was just kind of
you
standard.
You just did powers
process.
for every rep.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Yeah, like basically muscles at the point I was doing them. But yeah, my goal was just use as little energy as possible and just keep going. Like, don't take too long a rest, because I think when you do, then it starts to catch up.
Equally, the more exhausted you get, the longer it takes to get back to a place to start again, doesn't it?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Like lots of little waves rather than big waves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think my tactic worked out quite well. And I think I got through all 30 at 60 kilograms, which I was very happy about. And I did that in 8 minutes and 15, I think was the final time.
So Lianne looking fierce. Another easy clean. Another easy jerk. What rep is that, Lianne? 11. Do we think Lianne is going to do 30?
Yeah, I reckon she'll get there.
Think Lianne will get 30, Jake?
At least 21.
At least 21. Let's go, Lianne. Slow and steady. It's not a race, but it also is. How many we done, Lianne?
My legs are numb.
How many we done?
22.
22. Beating Jake. 2 sets of 4. Let's go. Come on. Lianne's come to the end of the workout here. 2 more. Go for a sub 9 minutes. Last one, best one. Easy pull. Nice. Big push. 400 meter run. 400 meter run. How are you feeling, Lianne? How are you doing after the workout? 8:15. Very good. Will not touch. Will not touch. Nice work. level 0 per wadstar.com, so
yeah,
didn't
like
actually
below
qualify.
beginner. Yeah. But it was at the men's weight, so
Yeah.
I feel like if
That's
I'd done
true.
it at 45 kilograms, I reckon I could have done sets of 6.
If you'd like Lianne to make good on that claim for the next episode, drop us a like below.
I feel like I've done it already.
What do you reckon you could have done if you did 45 kilos?
I reckon I could have got it below 5 minutes.
Below 5 minutes?
Yeah.
More than a 25% reduction?
Big claim.
Yeah.
I think she does.
Because
need to do it again.
45 is
I
just
think I
so...
wanna
It's like nothing. Like...
It's like if you are someone who's just started out in weightlifting and feel personally attacked by someone saying 45 kilos clean and jerk is nothing, Tom's Instagram's you really think 5 minutes?
Well, no. I don't... Well, it's 15 kilograms less.
Mm-hmm.
Like, 45 kilos for me, I think that's... that's my first, basically, warm-up.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I just feel like it's so much lighter.
It's a 33% reduction in weight, really, because, or more than that, because 0 is 20. Everyone at 0, the bar is 0, right?
Yeah.
Maths, yeah.
You're going realistically
Yeah.
from 40 down to
40 on the bar to
25.
25
So
on the
what's
bar.
that?
Yeah.
Anyone maths?
Yeah, maths.
You
15
both
over
maths?
14.
Maths.
Three
Get your
eighths.
Excel out.
What's that? 37, 40%-ish,
Yeah.
which is about the time. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think now that you know what it's like, I think that was a big thing for me.
Yeah.
I just had
No.
no idea. I've never done like more than 4 clean and jerks in my life. So doing 30 of them in one go, I'm just kind
Yeah.
of like, where do I even
Yeah.
end up?
Yeah. But no, it was good. I was glad I got through it. I think the worst part was after I'd finished. And I, of course, was not going to do the 400 meter run because that was fucking stupid.
Yeah,
It's also just not part of the workout.
It's just not.
I was the only one who did the 400 meter run.
Just bad.
yeah.
Fan favourite is what they call me.
But anyway, I think the worst part was finish the workout, had to lie down, and just this like blinding pain was being experienced within my legs, and my legs had such a pump that my very small knee sleeves already I can't
Yellow card.
the blood had gone to my legs and they were so constricted that it felt like the blood, like the circulation was being cut off to my feet. So I had to really get you to come and kind of tear my knee sleeves off.
I think the thing is here with the knee sleeves is until about 3 months ago you'd been using medium knee sleeves because they were like comfortable. We had kind of had a conversation with Craig like, what is the point of having a knee sleeve? You want it to be as tight as possible to get as much benefit out of it as possible.
Mine are too tight.
If you're wearing them for 8 minutes in a row doing like hypertrophy, they're gonna fucking hurt.
Yeah. They hurt anyway.
I couldn't get like my fingers underneath them to pull them down.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Regrets on the sleeves.
Yeah. So I didn't need them, but just wanted as much help as possible. So.
Can confirm they don't smell as bad as James's knee sleeves.
Oh yeah, mine fucking reek to be fair.
Yours
Like,
do fucking
so
reek.
fair.
They're just constantly wet.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been dry.
You know when you're out in public and you feel like the breeze has blown the public toilets to you? That's roughly how I would describe standing in the vicinity of your
Yeah, it's
knees.
actually incredible how much they smell like shit.
They
Like,
really,
why
really
do they smell like that?
I need to get. I keep on saying I need to get like that fabric freshener stuff and spray them.
Get in the washing
new knee
machine.
sleeves. You need new, fresh, non-smelling knee sleeves.
To be
They need
fair,
to be incinerated.
I now wear Lianne's mediums because larges are too big for me. But Lianne's legs are not the same size as each other. So your right leg is significantly bigger than your left leg because the right sleeve goes on quite easily and the left one is like a battle. So actually it might make sense to replace my knee sleeves so they don't stink and they actually fit.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
But mostly so they don't stink.
Yes, they don't.
Yeah,
So that when we're not sitting in a restaurant having brunch after the workout, you can smell my leggings across the table, which is what happened 2 weeks ago.
James, I can smell your knees.
Yeah, so we had one who did not finish.
Yeah.
one who did finish.
But not within the approved WOD star time.
Yeah, like below a beginner.
And almost... But 2 people who both almost lost limbs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Bodies on the line for the bit.
Genuine almost hospitalizations there. Yeah. So,
but you got through it, and how would you kind of rank your experience out of 10?
I mean, it was all right. I'd say in terms of enjoyment, it was maybe like a 6 out of 10.
So better than average enjoyment?
Yeah, because I had fun with my friends and it was a nice day.
Yeah.
But in terms of the workout and the difficulty, I'd maybe give it... If 10 was the most difficult, I'd maybe give it like a 4 difficulty, because you have all the time you need to get it done.
Yeah.
So I wasn't pushing myself to the point where, I thought I was going to pass out or anything, like someone we know. But yeah, it was pretty good. It was a all right experience. But we have been told that this wasn't a official CrossFit workout.
Like, actually, can people just fuck off with this? Right, we put up a poll and said we'll do a CrossFit workout. We did one. We put up another poll to choose the workout.
Yeah. And
it was an overwhelming majority to do Grace.
Yeah.
Like, so people who go, you should have done Murph. Like, fuck off, you do Murph. Like, you start a podcast, you do Murph. Like, just be fucking grateful for once. Jesus Christ.
Such a rant. Oh my god. Oh.
And also, we put up the 3 bars of depth, or that has a name as well, which would be significantly harder than Grace. And I thought people would have got us to do, because it's...
What's that one?
So it's 10 bench press, 10
deadlifts,
10 squats, and then you 10, 8, 9.
Oh,
okay.
10, 8, 9.
You do 10, 9, 8,
See,
7.
that's just evidence that we can't count past 5. So that's actually...
you go down.
You go fewer as you go.
And it's like all based on percentage of your body weight.
I think we baited people by saying I do the men's weight.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, but like I'm just like,
you are stronger than both of the men here. So like, it's only fair.
And but Murph is just silly. It would take
silly.
A lot of time is the main thing,
Yeah.
and it would actually like damage our training for like the weeks to come. And like Lianne has a competition in 4 weeks. I have one in 7 weeks. Like, I don't have time. I don't have time to be doing 300 air squats. Like it's just
maybe next year.
No one has time for that.
Yeah. So anyway, interlude. So you got through, respectable time.
Yeah.
6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Cool. And I think by this point, Tom, your hips are finally loose. So you're ready to begin doing Grace.
Yes.
And we've managed to kind of roll Lianne off the platform and loosen the sleeve.
I've crawled off.
Yeah.
Yes. Hello, I'm Tom from work.
What kind of training do you do, Tom, from work?
I do fun training because I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Generally do terrible stuff to my body, and then I get hurt at rugby and do no training.
Nice.
What's your max clean and jerk?
105.
Cute.
What's your max clean?
107.5.
Very nice.
What's got my max jerk?
What's your max jerk?
150.
And what's your strategy today for Grace?
You mean the workout?
Yes.
Oh, good. Strategy today. I think don't go out too hard. Don't want to lose it in the power play.
Yep.
Use the mid load as well. Don't get tied down by the spinners.
Why are you using a cricket analogy on a gym podcast?
Power through the last 3. I think we leave it all out there. Leave it on the park.
And what's your current relationship status? And what pre-workout have you taken today?
I have taken depression and responding to Tinder messages.
Like a real man.
Like a real man, yeah. Coffee and depression.
Well, best of luck for the workout, Tom.
Thank you. See you on the other side.
Tom from work, lining up for the 30 clean and jerks. So far, we have Jake on 20 DNF. Lianne finished the workout but didn't do the run. 8 minutes 15. Tom, the rugby player, is probably the favourite. What time do we think Tom's going to do it in?
I don't know where I am.
And as you approach the bar, what are your goals at this point?
I think to not see a breakdown in form when I got tired. When your form starts at a place where it's not very good, there's not kind of much room for leeway.
Yeah.
So I think my main aim was to just keep focusing on the cues, even if it was light. It wasn't very light by the end, but you get me. So yeah, I just wanted to get through it. Like I don't ever had times in mind. You kind of gave me a time to aim for.
Yeah.
20 reps was obviously the bare minimum.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace. But yeah, I think that was my target.
And did you have a game plan? So we know Lianne was doing sets.
I knew I was going to do sets. I hadn't quite decided by that point how many I was going to do. I think I'd kind of thought about 4, but then I got to 4 and it was easy, so I did another one. And then I was like, yeah, let's be sensible, let's have a rest there.
Yeah.
Also, 30 doesn't divide by 4, so that would have been very stupid. Yeah. And I was going well. I was getting quite warm, and I wasn't sure what gym etiquette was. And then you provided me a nice in on that one.
It's all kicking off. It's all kicking off now. Come on, Tom. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd midway through Tom's workout, I'd started warming up and I'd done about 1 rep and needed to take my top off because I was sweating quite a lot. So we gave Tom a little invite, and we also thought it'd be good for the hinge.
Ladies.
Yes. So yeah, that did actually help. I mean, I still have a bit of a red neck from where the bar was landing.
The bar touched you.
Yeah, here. So when you get to the top of the clean, it's supposed to be resting on your shoulders.
Yeah, it really should. Really should.
If you've got massive biceps though, like humongous biceps, you have to hold it.
I do have that problem.
Yeah.
A bit of foreshadowing here.
Yeah.
And Lianne, as a coach, mother, lover, fellow weightlifter, as Tom was kicking off, getting in through the reps, what were you thinking of the form, of the approach? Lianne, as Tom kicks off here, can we get some thoughts on the form? 3.
For someone who's never been to the gym, it's actually pretty good.
That's. Would you say you're impressed?
Yeah, I mean, pretty good.
I don't like the way you used all those names to introduce in specific reference to me. That was quite uncomfortable.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think Tom's clean and jerk in general is very good for a self-taught weightlifter in that sense. And we're powering everything, so it's pretty, there's obviously certain things that you want to try and make sure you're doing, which I think Tom was doing, so it was pretty good for a non-weightlifter.
So as you progressed through, sets of 5 the whole time?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I think I did 6 5s. The last 5 kind of got broken down in my head, I think, into a 3, a 1 and a 1 or something like that. I think by the last 10 I was kind of counting down rather than up.
Yeah.
But I still did it kind of rests after the 5s.
Do you think that last set got chopped up because you were aiming for about 6 minutes?
I think it's just the way I get through reps in my
Yeah.
head. Like I do a lot of conditioning type reps on the bike where it'll be like the reps be 10 or 20 or 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And I kind of chop those up in my head. So like a 10 I'll classically see as a 4, a 3, a 2 and a 1. Because like I quite like getting beyond halfway when you're halfway. Because in my head I feel like I'm over halfway even if I'm kind of 2 sets out of 4 through.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of the logic on that.
But the mental aspect of it is so important as to how you're approaching it and because it is mind over matter, I think, a lot of the time.
I think it's so easy to just let the discipline slip slightly on 1 rep and you can do so much
and then
damage.
everything else starts to spiral.
Every single rep you've got to still be like, make sure you get everything right. And there are a lot of cues, I think.
Yeah.
Compared to, benches, brace, isn't it?
Well, I disagree with this. But I can understand the concept.
I think in my head, I think clean and jerk's one of the ones that probably the most cues through the whole process.
I mean, James has literally said in this podcast that bench is as technical as a snatch.
If you get really into benching, there's a lot you need to be doing to do it well. I'd say out of the 3 powerlifting,
if bench is as technical as snatch, that would be why I'm equally as good at both of them, right?
Not sure that's how it
Says
works.
someone with a 130 bench.
That's my point. Yeah, I clearly cannot
the
snatch.
point is that he can't.
Oh, okay.
And it's interesting there you referenced bike workouts.
Yes.
So which is obviously solely cardio.
I'm going to pick you up there. So I think this is a common misconception among sort of anaerobic athletes. I think. I don't know what
that's now how I'm referring to myself because that is wonderful.
I think cardio. A lot of people who go to the gym think, I need to do some cardio, and they'll do 40 minutes on a step machine at 140 BPM or something. And I do stuff like that, and it's important to do that, and that's kind of where a lot of the health comes from. But from a rugby perspective, what you're actually looking for is the bit on top of that, which is when when you're literally dying 70 minutes into a match, you need to be able to get up and go again and go again. And it's not about kind of that long sustained effort. You need that underneath just from cardiovascular fitness perspective. Yeah. But it's that max effort, kind of short max effort again and again and again. So a lot of the stuff I do in the gym tends to be sort of short max efforts, repeated short max efforts.
That's so interesting.
So it's cardio in the sense that your heart rate stays high for a long time, but it's not cardio in the sense that your heart rate's sort of steady and stable. You're looking like a Theresa May government. Your heart rate is
a bit political.
It's very much like
a new layer.
It's very much like heart rate peak, and then the recovery is there for you to get that heart rate down as quickly as you can. And part of the development will be not that you can go further in the work rates or that you can work harder in the work rates. It will be that in that rest period your heart rate comes down further.
Mm-hmm. That's very interesting because I actually do think that's quite similar at times in weightlifting within a competition environment. Because especially when you're following yourself, so say you've got 3 snatches and 3 clean and jerks to do because you're at either end of kind of the pool of lifters, you have to be able to get that heart rate down so that you can perform the lift again. So that's an interesting concept.
Maybe you need to go and join Tom on the bike.
Maybe I do.
Get a little tandem going.
The other good thing about it, just from I think from a sort of actually getting yourself there to do it perspective, is it's much less boring. Unless you're the kind of person that, I don't know, you listen to music and go on a run, or you sit the TV on, I find it quite difficult to sit there for 50 minutes at one pace. Whereas, even if I go outside on the bike, it tends to be hilly, so you've got a bit of effort, then a chill, a bit of effort. Whereas it's much more kind of interesting in that it's a bit more varied, the pace and things like that.
Yeah, which is good. That's really cool.
So going back to my question.
Sorry,
I think
sharp turn.
I think it actually makes my question more relevant.
Yeah.
So obviously you're doing sets of max effort on the bike there.
Yeah.
How does that compare to doing a CrossFit workout, which is also sets, but there's obviously the weight element as well and the cardio element? How do you compare? How do you prefer those?
I think on the bike there's literally no apologies to cyclists. There is a technique, but the technique is ultimately you can fall off the technique and still get what you need to get out of that workout. I'm not doing that to improve my cycling technique. I'm doing it to improve my capacity or whatever.
Yeah.
So actually, you're not really focusing on technique. You're just focusing on working as hard as you possibly can. Whereas with the Grace, it was much more about everything I was thinking about was about the technique. I was trying not to think about the next rep or think about how hard I'm working, or I do that in the rest period.
Yeah.
It was very much at the bottom. It was getting in the right position at the bottom. Don't go until I'm in the right position. Then it was good hip contact. Then it was reset, go again. Good jerk. Weight in the heels, not in the toes. All of that. Yeah. Then it might actually be somewhere near the midfoot if I get that in the heels.
That is weightlifting.
Exactly.
All you need to do, and I think this is where a lot of people we know as well kind of fall down, is they think about things outside of their technique. So if you have a routine and you have cues that you think about, that's literally all you need to be doing. And who cares what the weight is? You're thinking about the technique, you're going to get the lift done.
Yeah.
So that's
I think that's a much more positive approach to the workout than I took.
What's a lovely segue into your
But before we gently segue into my workout.
We'll gently segue roughly the same way you gently segued the bar off the floor.
How would you rank the workout out of 10 compared to other workouts you do on a regular basis and your enjoyment of it?
Now I'm going to drop a controversial dates, weights and protein shakes opinion here.
Oh, a hot take.
I quite enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
Now
that's good.
CrossFit's not something that's ever really been in my sphere as something I would actually do. Not because I'm CrossFit shit, but because I just haven't come across it.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed it.
Oh.
The combination, and all the sports I play and all the sports I've stuck with, rugby possibly being the exception, it's kind of always been about the balance between the physical and the skill execution.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably more about the Olympic lifting than the CrossFit.
Yeah.
I think I really enjoyed it wasn't just like one lift and go, it was again and again, you had to get it right again and again, and then there was also the kind of measuring how I felt and knowing when to go again.
Yeah.
I was also very happy with my time, which I think helps my enjoyment.
And what was your time? Because you definitely remembered it.
So, somewhere between sort of like 5:55 and 5:57, somewhere in that range. I think it was 5:56.
Yeah.
Which
nice.
Again, I surprised myself. I kind of got to 20 thinking that would be about 5-6 minutes, and Jay told me it was like 4. I was like, could be on quite a good time here.
Yeah.
I was pretty happy. I enjoyed it. I did. I was obviously struggling a bit at the end, but that's what you want. That's the way you work.
I think we'll allow that though, because I think the main thing you said there is you were focusing on the technique and the execution of the skill. Where we, particularly you, Lianne, have problems with CrossFit, it's just getting it done as quickly as possible with no focus on the execution.
Yes, and I think that's where our disdain of CrossFit in general comes in, is where it's not done properly and it's done actually dangerously to a point where many CrossFit athletes end their career because they've had a very bad injury. So it's nice that you're approaching it that way, and it's nice to know that was a gateway session into the CrossFit world.
I can't say I've joined the box. I do know what that is. And, know all the lingo. I haven't gone and run and joined a CrossFit.
Not yet.
All the classes are at like 7 a.m.
No.
So in fact, we'll celebrate Tom's enjoyment.
Yeah.
In the usual way.
Very exciting.
Very good.
Nice to do some clapping.
Clapping cheeks.
Oh. Come on. So, we have done the 3 more athletic, more flexible, more mobile.
No, wait. I'll accept all of those with reference to you and Jake. I will not accept more flexible, more mobile with reference to that.
But you're giving me more athletic.
Oh,
I'll take that. That's a win.
See the last episode. All I've got is effort.
Wins a win.
Well, we've made it to the grand finale. James Baldwin steps up to the plate.
What's your name, James?
Little Jake.
What's your name, James?
What's your max clean?
85.
And your max jerk?
Probably also 85.
There are no other lifts that I've ever seen you do, so we don't need to ask
He
you
has.
any of those.
No, he has done a snatch. What's your snatch?
60.
Oh, good. Well done. That's impressive. What's your strategy for today?
This is 6 sets of 5. I'm going to do 5. I'm going to sit down for 2 to 3 minutes, and then I'm going to do another 5.
And what was your choice of pre-workout today?
Pumpkin spice latte.
Very nice.
Excellent. Presumably you'll be listening to Taylor Swift while you do this as well then.
I'm just going to shake it off, man.
Excellent.
Now, James, we did say at the beginning of this episode that you had done a full workout before coming into this.
Yeah.
So you're tired at this point, right?
Yeah, and mainly tired through the arms.
A full workout for you is like 10 reps, isn't it? Like, come on. Let's put some perspective on this. 5 sets of 2,
I think I'd
2
actually
hours.
done 4 sets of 5 floor press.
Oh, wow.
So my workout was squats and bench with tricep accessories.
Okay.
So I was quite worried about the jerk, which does involve the triceps for the lockout. And I was actually worried that was what was going to get most tired first.
See, interesting that you'd gotten really tired in your arms before this, but yet exclusively used your arms for the entire workout, no legs involved whatsoever.
Yeah.
Odd choice, I'd say.
So I had a couple of goals here, stepping up to the workout. Beforehand, I was happy to do it in under 15 minutes. I actually started doing the workout at 20 to 2 because the gym closed at 2.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to make sure I get it in. So I couldn't wait for Tom to finish. So my time lapse, I'm like wandering around in the back of Tom's time lapse, and my time lapse starts midway through the workout if you're watching this. yeah, really goals going into this under 15 minutes before the gym closes, and also don't hurt my back.
Yes.
So all I was really like, Tom talked about all the cues he was thinking about. All I was thinking about when I was pulling off the floor was don't round your back.
Yeah. Okay. Fair
So
enough.
really, what we ended up with was, and I'll accept criticism and comments from the external audience, a hip hinge into an upright row.
Yeah.
My arms, I had a pump. My biceps are too big anyway. No front rack, just holding the bar.
Yeah.
Into mill press with a bit of knees.
Yeah.
The only way I would add some colour to that is I think a hip hinge is generous. I think it was a pendlay row. To be completely honest. It was a pendlay row and stand up.
Yeah. Make it easy.
Very easy.
The thing is, I did try to do a bit of a warm up to like remind, because there was a time during lockdown that I was actually doing weightlifting like once a week, and I could actually do a clean. I've since forgotten how to do that, and I was trying to remind myself, and I think it's so fair to say it was pendlay row with a jump.
Yeah.
And like a muscle clean would be the closest comparison to it.
I reckon you just claim it, own it, reclaim it, and just call it like the Baldwin clean and jerk.
Baldwin clean.
Pendlay jump. Just get it named after yourself.
6 left. Nice bit of sweat on the back. The form is questionable, but he's getting through.
The form is absolutely
You know you can rest it on your shoulders.
biceps are too big for it. So I was getting down on the floor. Mm-hmm. No, wait, that's not what I was doing.
And then we went home and we were ready for the workouts.
So I was approaching the bar, I was gripping the bar, and I was just thinking, right, keep your back flat and just yoink. And get it up here.
Yoink is such a good way to describe what you were doing.
Yeah, and I got it here, and I was like, let's just be efficient, pop it up.
Oh, that's interesting that you're saying be efficient.
I was going to say, that's one way of defining it.
Yeah, really interesting, because once you'd finished the rep, you decided to add a little bit of difficulty and bring it back down to front rack and then follow it to the round.
Us powerlifters are very polite people. I don't want to be
don't want to
causing too much of a rumpus at first.
Well, at first.
A little bit of a different form there. James trialing my biceps are too big.
So
And then...
Well, I got through my first set of 5.
Yeah.
I had my timer going because main thing here, kind of wanted... Like, I was like, 15 minutes, but if I'm feeling good, I'll try and get around Lianne's time. So I went back to my timer, saw how long it took. I made my little marks. I knew I'd done 1 because I can't count above 5.
Good counting, yeah.
And I think it was maybe after the first 5, you said, James, you could just drop it.
Yeah, so I was confused as to why James was... I thought this was maybe around number 20, but maybe it was earlier on.
I think it was around 10, 15.
Yeah.
Okay,
it was
somewhere in amongst.
I think it took a long time for him to actually take your advice.
Yeah.
There was a period of advice giving.
I did point out to James that he could drop the barbell once he'd finished a rep. James's coordination is really something of a mystery and slight concern to me a lot of the times. And this was evidenced by what he did next.
Yeah, well, please see my previous comment about my athleticism.
So I told him, when you're at the top of your jerk, just drop it. It's fine. That's what the platforms are there for. Nothing's going to get broken.
Did you also add that he needs to get out of the way when he drops it? Because otherwise that could have ended quite badly.
Well,
he's done this before.
There's been previous injuries. So he knew about that. But it kind of turned into James going from his holding the barbell, wouldn't call it a front rack, pushing it up, but letting go as he pushed up.
I fully locked out though.
Genuinely chucking the barbell up in the air, 60 kilograms, onto brand new platforms.
Yeah, I think this is the thing we've not addressed here. Barbell division,
Yes.
through just a complete coincidence, had put in 3 new platforms the
great.
day before we went.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely ideal. So I think that's why, partly in my mind, I was like, all right, let's lower it back down so I don't damage any platforms.
Then why did that turn into you fucking chucking it?
I didn't think I was chucking
into
it.
the
I
air.
thought I was dropping it. I've just got a lot of force.
You were propelling it so high.
It's all my log strength. It was just
too
momentum.
Okay.
I mean, so high.
It was pretty high.
Relative.
For short kings, it was pretty high.
It was up to Polish Jake's eye level.
Yeah.
Like, if one of the big strong blokes comes in and does a deadlift, he's probably dropping it from higher than we are.
True. But it was high enough to the point where I was concerned about what the fuck were you doing. So
and then you told me.
James, calm the fuck down. Let's just.
And then I think for the last 6 or 7,
do it properly,
I dropped
You were
it.
getting pretty pumped though. You know, there was a fire in your eye.
Yeah. There was
that's
some grunting.
After I got through 2, and I was like, oh, it's only been like 2 sets of 5. It's only been like 2.5 minutes. And I didn't feel good. But I wasn't dying. I was like, right, 15 minutes is in the back mirror. I could get up near Lianne's time now.
Yeah.
I was going for it. And like, the form, I'd accepted this is how it was moving.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of arms, and I was getting quite grunty, just trying to move it around.
To be fair, both of you were.
Say, cut to the grunts.
Ladies!
I think we were like triggering each other. Like, I started making some noise, and Tom's like, I'm going to make some noise. I was like, ooh, Tom's making noise, I can make more noise.
It was very caveman, be lifting big weights.
How can we just cut the noises together in the most inappropriate way?
And then I think I got to around 20, and it was about maybe 5.5, 6 minutes. And Tom was like, I reckon you could beat Lianne's time.
So annoying.
And I think in my defence, in your defence, I had a yardstick, you didn't.
Exactly.
And I think
if it was the other way
I'd gone first, you would have
I would have gone to beat your time.
I think we all had the advantage. The later on we went, the more advantage. Firstly, just not to do them all at once. Rest in peace. Secondly, then to knowing how long to rest for.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think I really had a definitive rest time. It was just I'd look at my clock and I'd go, oh, it's like 15 minutes, 15 seconds past a minute now. I'll go at 1:45.
Yeah.
And just kind of having like arbitrary breaks like that. But then once I did the 20 to 25th rep, and then I was like, right, I actually kind of want a minute here. And you were like, no, if you go now, you've got 20 seconds to do them. And I just absolutely rattled through them. And did a split jerk on the last one.
Did. Little shuffle.
And felt pretty good. Did it 7 minutes 57. So inside the level 1 cut-off time.
Yeah.
Per
That's
ward star.
18 seconds quicker than me as well.
Standing next to the watch, the stopwatch as I had the pleasure of the side-on view of your newfound approach on the last few reps.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming the flat back cue had gone out the window.
Oh, no. Yeah. In the last 5, there were no cues. The head was empty. It was just oxygen.
Man lift bar overhead.
Come on. James trying to beat my time. I'm not happy. Come on. Last one.
Let's go.
Yay!
And I think this is a thing, because for me, I'm like in a working set for my main lifts, I'm moving weight in excess of 60 kilos. So for me, it's like, oh, this is actually quite a light bar. But if I was moving it properly, it would feel very heavy. So at that point, it was like, right, this is a quarter of my deadlift. I'm just fucking throwing this in the air.
Yeah.
No fall. Man lift bar.
Really got into the CrossFit spirit then.
Well, having said this, I did attempt the prescribed 400 metre run as well.
Yeah, so you finished on the last rep. Put 2
Double
fingers up on me,
bird.
as if I had been insulted enough. And then, proceeded to run outside in your lifters. In your expensive lifters.
So at one point, there was in my head, I was gonna use the break between the 24th and the 25th rep to change into my barefoot shoes.
Okay.
Better for the run. But I did not have time for that if I wanted to beat your time.
No.
So I ran in, which are not good shoes for running.
No, not happy about that. But I think as you ran out, there were a couple people in the gym who were kind of witnessing the absolute fucking chaos that was going on.
The guy who was from the gym, who was waiting for us to finish so he could shut.
Oh, like a world champion natural strongman.
Yeah,
a very good athlete.
Turned to me and was like, "Is he okay? Is he going outside to die?"
I was like, he's not going to die, but he's certainly not okay.
Yeah. I think he was more concerned when we told him you've gone outside to run. I think that was
like the man's not got the cardio for that.
His brain's already gone, head's gone. Yeah. how many of the 400 meters did you manage? And if the number you say has 3 figures, I'm hitting the bullshit.
A generous 60.
Yeah. You ran around a corner and I just went back inside.
I ran around a corner and just went and sat down.
But yeah, no, you did pretty well. I was actually quite worried about you, just because.
What, beforehand, during, afterwards, the whole time?
all
When were you concerned?
At all times, I have concerns about you, but I think it was more beforehand, just because you don't do these movements on a regular basis, and you'd done a full workout before as well. So it's just, I'm just general concerned.
Doing the workout
just built differently.
Built different.
You may not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like.
88 kilos of pure heaven.
I think the workout helped because I was very warm, so I was feeling quite limber.
Yeah.
And also I'd been doing like a heavy workout, so the bar felt quite light. I think if I'd had maybe more time to actually learn how to do the movement properly, I would have found it easier.
Yeah.
But I got it done. I'd say it was a 6 out of 10. Better than average time. I might do it again.
Well, would you do...
Okay, now I'm concerned about it.
I know. Would you do the snatch version? 60 kilos.
I've only...
What, as in 60 kilo snatch?
Yeah.
30 of them?
Yes.
Yeah, no.
How insane is that?
I'd need 15 minutes for that.
Yeah.
I've only ever snatched 60.
I think for that one, I would do the men's one, you do the women's one.
I need another 15 weeks of mobility work.
You do just the bar.
Power snatch. Power muscle snatch.
I think on like if I had to rank the 4 CrossFit workouts we've discussed today in ones I would do again.
Yeah.
I think I'd go 1, I'd do Grace again.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Then I'd do the 3 bars of depth.
Because it's basically just powerlifting. But
Exactly, yeah, lots of it, yeah.
And then I'd put Isabel, which is the snatch one.
Yep.
Because I really quite struggle with it. And then I'd put Murph.
Yeah. If there was only 4 that we had to rank.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if we put all of the CrossFit workouts in there, Murph would be at the bottom.
Yeah, it would be
actually,
all and then Murph.
I'd finish the page, then I'd put some more pages. And then on a new page, I'd write Murph and throw it away, so it's not even on the list.
I'd come up with some of my own ones to do before doing Murph.
Yeah.
Some of my own ones that involve putting like a chili coated fork in my eye. And then shortly after that, maybe start thinking about Murph. Yeah.
That's where the cut-off is.
Texting your ex and asking to get back together.
Oh, that's at the top.
That's ahead of Grace.
I'll tell you what, that gets your heart rate going. That's good cardio.
So yeah, that's it. The 3 of us completed it. We're not sure if Jake has recovered yet.
If you're alive, Jake, reach out. Let us know
know.
you're okay.
Tom's Instagrams are here.
You can reach out where any of these platforms.
So yeah, I think the takeaway is, for me and Lianne, not enjoyable, didn't die, would potentially do again, but there's other things we'd rather do.
Yeah.
And
Tom fucking loved it. He's joining CrossFit next week. Quitting rugby. Shall be injuring himself very soon.
Phone mirror.
Off he goes. Small J off on his big adventure. He's just beat my time. He shall be walking home. Oh, and there he is. There he is. He might be vomiting. Oh no, he's back up. Just a little rest. Goodbye, James. Godspeed.
And that brings us to the end of another episode of Dates, Weights and Protein Shakes. As always, I hope you did enjoy. Most importantly, I hope you enjoyed meeting Tom from work.
I really enjoyed it. Thank you for having me.
Tom's Instagram handles are...
Well, rather than spelling them out, if you just go to the followers of Dates, Weights and Protein Shakes and find the sexiest follower, I'm sure you'll find me.
No, they'll probably find Leanne's Instagram accounts.
Oh!
They are at TomFieldsend and at Field_send_it.
Why do you know that?
because I get so many memes sent to me.
You laugh. There are a surprising number of people who still haven't quite got that joke. In that one. Yeah. But there we go.
And as mentioned at the top of the episode, Tom is very single.
He's quite lonely, so we would appreciate,
Yeah, if someone could just take him off our hands.
Yeah, we really would like our bed back just to be the two of us, so if anyone can take him into their homes, please let us know.
In all seriousness, please do check Tom out. He's a very good athlete. And if you enjoyed having Tom on the episode, let us know. We can definitely bring him back for some other power... What did you call them? Anaerobic sport-related activities.
or just general dating advice. I feel like I'm really qualified to give that. As a straight white man.
Tom does a lot of dating, so he's very familiar.
Yeah.
But I hope you did enjoy the episode. If there's any other sports you'd like us to try out that aren't CrossFit, let us know. We'd be more than happy to do so.
If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can do so on our website at datesweightsandproteinshakes.com, where there's a form where you can submit your thoughts, feelings, if you want opinions, if you want some dating advice from Tom, let us know on there. You can also find us on Instagram at datesweightsandproteinshakes, and we're also on TikTok at datesweightsproteinshake.
And if you do enjoy the podcast, please remember to subscribe and turn notifications on. Also leave a 5-star review. Not a 3-star, not a 4-star. You can shove those up your bum. Leave a 5-star review. We're available on Spotify, SoundCloud, TuneIn, Deezer, and all those good places you can find your poddy. If you like seeing our faces and would like to see Tom shirtless, you can check out this episode on YouTube, where we are
Dates, Weights and Protein Shakes.
And you can subscribe and give us a little thumbs up. And until next time, may all your squats be deep,
your spines be neutral,
and your DMs be plentiful.